Hello everyone, this is Olivia, and we are on the first slide for my final project of integrated curriculum. I was interested in working on the topic of friendship. This thematic is developmentally appropriate in my preschool classroom of 3-year-olds because at that age, children are in the fifth developmental stage of child play, called the associative play, and they are gravitating around new children in the class that they try to interact with. I can see every day that sometimes they struggle with knowing how to communicate with their peers, how to take turns, and how to share, and they need guidance through these interactions to develop their social skills and make friends. Here we are on slide 2, and I worked on making lesson plans, activities, and new setups for the classroom that would fit the needs of 3-year-olds, since it is the age group I'm currently working with as a preschool teacher. It made this whole project very relatable and gives me ideas to implement some new things in my own classroom. Now on slide 3, so the anchor text that I chose is Care Bear, The Day Nobody Shared, written by Nancy Parent, illustrated by J.B. Johnson, and published October 1st, 2003 by Scholastic. I chose this book as it represents perfectly the value of sharing. I actually read this book to my class and they were all so engaged by the story. Children relate easily to the text and they love the bright colors and personalities of each Care Bear. The characters in the story teach the importance of caring for others and sharing their feelings, which is the foundation to build social skills and make friends. At the end, children had many comments on how they could share with their friends in the classroom during different activities that we do together. Now on slide 4, so I noticed that one specific center could be better used in my classroom to ease interactions between children, the building center. It is a great way to help the kids fulfill their need for free play while building cognitive and motor skills. However, I noticed that they often lead to individual play and that 3-year-olds have trouble when it comes to sharing blocks or anything I might use. I decided to reorganize the way I use the building centers, putting enough building pieces for only 2 children at the end of a table with 2 chairs so that I can model how to play a building game in cooperation with one friend at a time. This new setup facilitates communication and sharing between children. Instead of being overstimulating with too many friends around, each child can now have more individual space to explore the center and build their social skills while improving their patience. So now on slide 5, here are the 10 books that I selected for my theme of friendship. So there's my anchor text, Care Bear, The Day Nobody Shared, and many other books like Friendship is Forever, How Do Dinosaurs Play with Their Friends, Stick and Stone, Be a Friend, The Sour Grape, Be Kind, Llama Llama, Time to Share, Bear's New Friend, and Strictly No Elephants. So all these books I'm sure would pique the interest of each child in my classroom. They address different themes under the notion of friendship, like teaching the kids the value of sharing, using kind words and manners, taking turns, expressing emotion with words, acceptance of differences and diversity. So I think it is very important to teach these notions at a very young age and throughout their childhood. So now on slide 6, I'm going to talk briefly about my 3 lesson plans for this project. So for the aesthetic domain, 2 children dip their hands into paint. It has to be 2 different primary colors like red and blue. They will then join hands and mix it up to make purple. Kids loved this activity when I tried it in the classroom, and it is really great for their social skills. For this physical domain, I created a relay game to teach the kids to take turns and work in teams to put hard plushies into a basket. I think it is a good way to introduce them to following instructions while playing. And for the mathematics domain, I made a sorting and counting activity so that children can work on color recognition as well as counting. And it is easily adaptable to addition and subtraction to teach them more. Now on slide 7, so for the field trip idea, the classroom will go visit a strawberry patch. The purpose of this activity is to teach children how to work together on a common objective and socialize. I think a 2 hour session at the right season will make this activity worthwhile, as the children love to spend time outside. The teachers will help them walk together through the patch to pick strawberries. They can teach the kids how to work as a team and cooperate to get to the goal faster. Children can also take on responsibilities like holding baskets for friends, helping friends fill the baskets, working together and taking turns washing the fruits, etc. All these small tasks can reinforce social skills and friendships within the group. And then the tasting snack time at the end is a nice thing to let them unwind and understand that their work led to this enjoyable experience. Now, on slide 8, I created super easy activities that families can do at home during the theme. The first example is a tea party game using plushies and plastic cups with a pitcher filled with dry goods like rice or beans. The goal is to use polite vocabulary and manners to serve tea to friends around the table. The kids will also work on their fine motor skills as they serve the tea themselves. The second is an art activity only using paint and Ziplocs. The adults can put two primary colors in a bag, like red and blue, and show the kids how to move their fingers on the bag to mix the paint and make purple color. It makes them work on cooperation and patience. Last is a fun throwing game where parents can place a hamper far enough in the room, sit with their child, and make a plushy fly using an underhand throw and try to make it land in the hamper. This can reinforce relationships and develop gross motor skills. On slide 9, I decided to list the references that I used to work on my final project. And this is the end of my final project. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation and for sharing such insightful discussion posts during this course. I really enjoyed what I've been learning. Thank you.